Hello and welcome to the May report. This is probably going to be published a little bit later than I normally would because I've been up to my neck in bits of wood at present. I'm working on a scroll saw project and I've had some difficulties, which is kind of part of the course when I do this kind of stuff. And the main difficulty I found is with these sanding strips. Now these are pretty good. I found a place that sells them at a fairly good price, but they all seem to fail in the same way. They've got this kind of plastic nub thing on the end which locks into the jaws of the scroll saw, but they all fail by loss of nub. Now I'm not entirely sure if that is me, if I'm pressing too hard or putting the tension up too high so it's putting more strain on them, or what, but I've gone through 6 of these doing this project, which is rather shocking. So yeah, that slowed me down a bit. I've had to go back to the hand sanding, which is never fun. Right, so last month was fairly interesting in terms of politics, and I'm going to avoid saying what I want to say, but I expect we're going to be sick of talking about politics before the politics is sick about being talked about. I only hope for a change in the wind, but I don't expect it at this stage. Although I am thinking up some rather revolutionary ideas about politics that mainly anyone over the age of 85 shouldn't have a vote, because they've had votes all their lives and they've got themselves and their pension sorted out by that point, and they've got on a fixed fee by that point. So that's the only thing they can really get in the way of, is that kind of stuff for younger people. And I think that's kind of why Brexit has happened, who is happening, because the older people who, to be honest, and it's been said previously, will not be around for the problems that they've caused. It's those people that voted out, and it's the younger people that are going to have the most difficulty to face because of that vote. I'm still on the belief that we should have another vote before we finally go through the final Brexit process. We should have a vote, to another referendum, to say one way or another, do we want this agreement or do we want to return to something more like normalcy, that is not so xenophobic and so anti-everyone else, that Britain has turned into such a dark place, which is not where I grew up. So yeah, I had a whole thing planned. I was going to do lots of kind of bits of images and stuff and voiceovers, but frankly I don't really think this warrants that much effort. I think the whole point of Brexit is people were lied to, and it has been proved that all the promises for money for the NHS or money back from the EU, not going to happen. And that was kind of the thing that people were voting on, and voting on border controls, which we're not going to get. Not in the way we want. We can't, you can't pick and choose who you want to bring in, really, you know. But oh well, not going to do politics. It's upsetting and frustrating, and I'd rather live out in the shed where it's just me and there's no one else. Happy being a bit of a hermit, that's fine. So for May, our first project is the scroll saw project that I'm currently working on, which is taking longer than I expected. It may be a little bit late coming out, hopefully it won't be. For Dragon Food, I'm torn between doing something like a Thai curry or something baked. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I've also got a whole load of stuff from the last couple of weeks where I've been doing a big chocolate making project, so I might put some of those up. I haven't completely undecided. Haven't made much in the way of plan this month. 3 Minute Skill, again, not much of a plan. could either be some buttonholes or something kind of paper related, which again, haven't decided. And my big project this month is sitting on my desk and is very much unfinished and very much wonky. So if that gives away what I'm doing, so yeah, that may not be the project I end up showing you, because I'm not entirely satisfied with it, but we'll get onto that. Although this week I spent some kind of me time doing something I did about 10 years ago. I have been through some mental health problems. I've had some depression and that kind of thing, and I kind of, about 8 years ago, I lost all confidence in myself and kind of crashed down into the deep dark hole, and I stopped drawing. I stopped doing anything really creative like that. I made, but I couldn't draw. There was a different kind of thing in my head, and I used to be able to do some really, really fabulous, detailed photoreal drawing, but I've lost the knack, and I'm hoping to get back into it. But I spent an afternoon or an evening this week doing a poem picture using one of the original poem pictures I did just before the blackness crashed in, essentially. So instead of trying to go completely photoreal, which is what I kind of leant towards, I've kind of done more kind of that's really bad language. I've done more using non-Sharpie pens than unbranded Sharpies to do a almost photorealistic little owl. I love little owls. I went to a fair and some chap handed one to me, and that was quite an interesting, quite scary experience actually, because this little thing looking at you with bright golden eyes. So that inspired me to write a poem, and I've done a little canvas of that. That was a nice kind of relaxing thing, but I couldn't do what I used to do, which was literally copy for copy off of a photo. I used to be able to get a really, really great line, and that's what the original image was. So I've kind of gone to the carbon paper option, which I've got into the habit of doing now because I've lost the confidence in doing it all freehand. So I'm going to try and get back into that world. But so this is a project I did day before yesterday actually. So it's a nice relaxing kind of project, and it kind of suited the mood at the time. I'm going to try and do more of that kind of thing, so look out for that, hopefully. So yeah, if I get it finished, I should have a Scarsell project ready for Wednesday. If not, maybe a little later. But yeah, that's not all I wanted to say, but I don't think I have anything new to say particularly at the moment. So I'll see you on Wednesday.